Hey guys, CDTV Productions here, and in today's Best Verses video, we will be looking at the XXL cypher dropout, Trippie Redd. For those of you who don't know, I'm not personally a fan of Trippie. The way he sings just really doesn't appeal to me. I've even made a whole video analysing his music, saying what I don't like and what I do like, which will be linked below. But that doesn't mean I hate everything he puts out. Sometimes he'll come along and drop a solid verse, and we'll be looking at what I think the best ones are, in no particular order. So with that being said, this is CDTV Productions, and let's look at Trippie Redd's best verses.
Who knew us, kid? I think I came from under a rock, was out on the block. My cousin had that shit in his sock, he moving to work.
I thought I'd kick it off with this because every time I talk about Trippie, I bring this one up as one of the few songs I enjoy. Now, I mainly focus on the vibe and the chorus of this track because those things put together are so great, but the verse itself is also a highlight from Trippie. In the verse, he mainly covers growing up in Canton, Ohio, which was named one of the worst cities in America to live in, so he doesn't exactly rap about ice cream and sunny days on this one. It's an interesting look at his childhood, if all of it is true. I just also wish he mentioned that he took some dope ass pictures when he was growing up. Look at those works of art. But yeah, this is very good, and the whole verse really provides context to this idea of living in hell that the track follows.
Trippie bring demolition, and I ain't talking no derbies. Absorb your flow like I'm Kirby, the light you tell will not hurt me. Try to reach for the stars, and people don't get too far, they want all of the money.
And of course, I'm gonna include the other verse I always mention when talking about Trippie. It would be a crime to not mention this. It shocked me when I first heard it, and I still have a raging hard-on for it now. Hearing Trippie put in a great rapping verse was so unexpected for me on the project that this came from. Here he raps over this 90s influence beat, and it honestly kinda gives me a Logic or Joey Badass feel with the whole vibe of the track. Trippie himself considers this to be his most lyrical track, and that's something I'd be hard-pressed to disagree with. There's a couple lines I think are either weak or overused, but for the most part, it's solid rhymes and wordplay. On top of all that, I just really like Trippie's rapping voice as opposed to his singing one. This is easily my favourite verse that he's ever written.
And that karma gonna get you in the worst way, yeah. Don't throw your love away, don't throw your trust away, you always run away.
Now, as I'm sure you can see by this list so far, most of the verses I really enjoy from Trippie are his rapping verses, but this is one of the few singing ones that I think sounds fantastic. It's easy to pinpoint why as well. His vocals aren't really abrasive here like they usually are. Instead, he opts for a much smoother style of singing, and I thoroughly enjoy that. Now, a lot of people do, but I don't like Trippie's typical style of singing, so this track was way better for me than a lot of his other material. And his vocals towards the end of his verse honestly sound great to me. They're just stuck in my head. In terms of content, Trippie does here what he does on a lot of his songs and talks about a heartbreak he's going through, so he fits right in on this track. I really enjoy this one. Here we have yet another straight up rapping verse from Trippie, this time over some deep, thumping 808s, giving the track this dark banger sound, something that I really love about it. Now I do kind of have an issue with how much he really sounds like Sway Lee on this particular verse. Like, it's clearly inspired by Ray Shrimmer's earliest project, but I love Ray Shrimmer, so even though it does come off as biting to me, I can still enjoy it here. He delivers his lines with this high-pitched, breathless sound which really amps up the liveliness of the song. It's just a pretty crazy verse that really gives off this image of Trippie living a rock star lifestyle, and it might just be another song of his that I really enjoy. And to close this video out, we have Trippie rapping over a really chill instrumental, and again he uses pretty nice rhyme schemes on this track, just like Can You Rap Like Me? To be honest, I don't feel like this one is saying too much lyrically, but I'm more of a fan of this verse because of how it sounds, not what he's saying. His flow is solid, and yet again, with the way he's rapping, it just shows that Trippie is definitely a capable rapper. He just doesn't choose to do that style that often. There's not really many lyrics to analyze here, so that's pretty much it. I just really enjoy the overall sound of this one, and I'd be extremely happy if Trippie's next project features more rapping tracks along the lines of the verses that I chose for this video. Well guys, that's going to be it for the video today. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know down in the comments below what your personal favourite verses from Trippie Redd are. Also let me know if there's anyone you would like to see in this Best Verses series next, and I will hopefully see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching guys, and this is CDTV Productions, signing out.